Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. First up, a slight apology. It's been a very long time, nearly 2 months I think since I've uploaded a video. In that time a lot has been going on in my life and I've had to pause this YouTube adventure of mine. For those of you who have seen some of my earlier videos, you'll know that I'm a finance manager / accountant by day, and after changing roles internally at work it has been a very crazy busy past few months for me. Budget season is underway and it's always a very busy period, but hopefully that should be dying down now, giving me a good chunk of time back in the evenings. So in my personal life, I've also been preparing the house for the imminent arrival of my second child. Heck, by the time you see this video, hopefully he will already be here. These two things left me with very little time and energy to devote to this channel. So I'm very sorry, but that's something I hope to rectify going forward. So what have I been up to? Well, I bought a new watch. Well, I've actually bought another one too to commemorate the birth of my second child, but that limited edition watch hasn't arrived yet. Hopefully it will soon and in time for the birth. Stay tuned to the end of the video for a startling revelation, and if you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing, leaving a comment and a like. It really helps the channel. Thank you. Back in 2003, for my 20th birthday, my parents, my grandparent and my grandma bought me a Tag Heuer Professional 2000. It was literally my favorite possession. You know, that was like the only watch I wore. But in 2015, my new house that I just moved into got burgled. Didn't have much of high value, but that watch was at home and unfortunately it got stolen. So a short while later, when I qualified as an accountant, I thought I'd treat myself to a new watch. I bought what I'd call at the time was the spiritual successor to that watch, the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer. It's a beast of a watch. It's water resistant to 300 meters, it's got a ceramic bezel, it's 43 millimeters, it's a tank. That beastliness though becomes a bit of a problem because it's just too darn heavy to use. And by the end of the day, actually my arm physically hurts a little bit from wearing it. I know, crazy. So for the past few years, the weight and the fact that I've been wearing my Apple Watch Ultra, see my review somewhere in one of the corners, or other mechanical watches, my Aqua Racer has been basically sitting in a drawer. This year, I thought there's no point in holding on to that anymore. I'm never going to wear it, so I might as well sell it and it can go to another home. So it's being sold. I decided to use the proceeds towards a new watch. The Aqua Racer was supposed to be a daily wear watch, so the watch to replace that needs to be a daily wearer too. My Tudor Black Bay GMT stands out a fair bit and from a distance looks like a vintage Rolex GMT Master, meaning that it draws a bit too much attention. A bit too much attention for my liking. A trip to the Apple Genius Bar in Brent Cross a few weeks ago, I had no less than 3 quote-unquote geniuses asking if my watch was the Pepsi Max. I figured fairly quickly that, they meant the Rolex GMT Master, but, I don't really want people noticing what I'm wearing, if I'm honest. So, I also have a Tag Heuer Carrera that I bought to commemorate the birth of my daughter, like 4 years ago. That also doesn't really qualify as a daily wear watch. It's a bit too big and in your face and skeletonized dial and shiny and blingy and, I'm not going to wear that every day. That's a weekend watch. Both of those watches I love and I get lots of wear out of them in my rotation. But the watch I was going to wear daily needs to fly a bit more under the radar. My initial thoughts were to get the recently released Tag Heuer Aqua Racer Professional 200, but again this has polished center links and again it's a bit in your face and draws too much attention. Plus the bracelet would end up looking like crap pretty quickly, right? I'm not scared of scratching my watches, I don't baby them, I wear all of them, but I'm just not a fan of highly polished bracelets. I prefer the matte brushed look. So I went with this watch here, the Tudor Black Bay GMT Pro. Black Bay GMT It's not even called the Black Bay GMT Pro, it's just called the Tudor Black Bay Pro. Anyway, the Black Bay Pro has what I call a Goldilocks size. It's 39mm, it's really good for daily wearing. It features a GMT complication with a jumping hour, meaning that I can track 2 time zones. You can adjust the hour hand without stopping the watch, meaning that setting the time to a new time zone on holiday is really easy, and the GMT hand tracks the time at home. It's got a fixed 24-hour bezel, which definitely takes its inspiration from Tudor's sister brand Rolex, the Rolex Explorer 2 1655 from around the 1970s and 1980s. Whilst there are some similarities to the Rolex, the Black Bay Pro is distinctly Tudor, snowflake hands, yellow GMT hand instead of orange, and it's also less than half the price of a new Explorer at £3,460 versus £8,100 for the modern version of the Explorer 2, if you could get one, that is. The Tudor matches the Rolex's 70-hour power reserve, and the only place that really falls down compared to the modern Rolex Explorer is in the thickness. The Black Bay Pro is 15mm-ish, whereas the Explorer 2 is about 12mm-ish. Personally, the thickness doesn't bother me, but some internet reviews will feel otherwise, and I'd recommend trying it on yourself before buying. Some people call Tudor a poor man's Rolex. I mean, I'd have to disagree. Rolex seems to be pushing prices higher and higher, and whilst also losing some of its tool watch charm. And Rolex professional watches have become more and more gaudy over time, and they're just way too flashy, way too in your face, and a bit too recognizable as well. Living near to London, where you could just get robbed very, very easily. Yeah, Rolex is perfect for posers, but it's not for me. And that's if you can buy one in the first place without paying well over the retail price through a great dealer. So that apparent manufactured shortage in supply chain means that you really have to kiss an authorized dealer's backside and spend a ton of money on other things with the hope of getting blessed with the opportunity to buy a Rolex. I'm not into that. I'm not going to such ridiculous lengths to be allowed to part with my money. So, the buying experience for Rolex is just terrible, to the point where I don't really feel that you're buying a luxury item, personally. The Tudor, on the other hand, pretty much readily available, looks fantastic, ticks all the boxes for me, and it's not too in your face, which is really important. On the wrist, it wears slightly smaller, as it should, than the Black Bay GMT and the Black Bay GMT that I own, and I love the way the light plays with the sunburst effect on the bezel. It's just a fabulous watch. The bracelet has also been amazing in these summer months, and there's about 0.5 centimeter of adjustment that you can make without any tools. And overall, I just love this watch. It's going to be on my wrist most weekdays, whilst the weekends will probably have my Black Bay GMT or my Tag Heuer Carrera. Now, if you've been watching any of my previous videos, you're probably thinking, well, where's your Apple Watch Ultra? Well, to be honest, startling revelation here, it spends most of its time on my nightstand. I don't feel like I get the most value out of the Apple Watch Ultra. The smartwatch features have somewhat become annoying, constantly being pinged and binged all the time. My phone does that, my wrist does that. It has, to an extent, become annoying. I still do use it every time I go out for a run, every time I hit the gym. I use it to record my stats. I'm not doing much with those stats, but I'm recording them nonetheless just because I can. I do still like the Apple Watch Ultra, I just don't find I get the utility from it. And plus, I've got some really nice mechanical watches, as you're probably seeing in the video here. You know what? I'd much rather be wearing them. So yeah, whilst I've got lots of straps, bands for the Apple Watch Ultra, I do like wearing it, but it doesn't spend as much time on my wrist as it would do normally. So yeah, that's the startling revelation. So in short, I bought a new watch. I love it. I've pretty much been wearing it every weekday, and I intend to do so. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Subscribe if you like content like this. I've got another watch on its way. Hopefully it will be delivered fairly soon. I'll let you know what that is when it arrives, and I'll do a video on that at the time. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks.